all today. My name's Ione. So there's a couple of things that I want to do today. One of them is for any of you who may or may not know, let me just tell you, I'm giving a speech on Sunday at the Best You Expo. And I kind of wanted to just run it by you, have a chat, share with you what I'm going to be talking about, get your thoughts and advice. So first of all, hi, who have we got here today? Tell me that you are there, say hello, say where you're from, and also give me one word that tells me how you're feeling. In this very moment, I would say I'm feeling irritated. I'd say irritated would be a good word. Irritated would be a good word that describes how I'm feeling. So who are you? Where are you? And what are you feeling? Let me know. So this morning I wanted to share an experience of something that happened to me this morning. I made a purchase on PayPal about a month ago for nearly $2,000. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Hey, Tiffany. Now I'm going to start saying your name right. Hi, gorgeous. How are you feeling today, guys? I'm looking for one word that just sums it up. Feeling irritated too. Okay, cool. I'll be curious to know what is making you feeling I'm curious to know what makes you feel irritated, Nikhil. So yeah, this morning I'd made a purchase on PayPal for about $2,000 for a program that also came with an iPad. Anyway, cancelled the program. They never sent the iPad, never heard back from the company, and PayPal have not refunded my money. I disputed it, I appealed it, they didn't. I was just on the phone to somebody this morning, a guy who just, who was on the phone to me, sorry, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have my product. Well, there's nothing I can do. But they've taken my money and I don't have the product. Yeah, but there's just nothing I can do about it though. And so it was one of those things where I was in the situation and it was just the realization that, first of all, when I'm in these situations, I try to see if I can Jedi mind trick people and see how can I bring this around? In that situation, I just I didn't have the skills or technique. I didn't know how to bring this guy around and he just didn't give a shit. And so when you're in that place, there was two things that I could do. One of them was lose my shit, which I was very close to doing, very close to getting really angry and frustrated. And I was just that's not going to solve anything. What I think is important to do is not just to be oh, that's okay. People can walk all over me. I don't mind I don't mind. You can just do whatever you want. That's not good and that's not healthy. I think it's okay to allow yourself to feel and acknowledge the irritation, the frustration, the anger. But what I decided to do was rather than lose my shit, scream on the phone, not get myself anywhere, work myself up. After I got off the phone call, he hung up on me in the end. The guy actually hung up on me. The guy from PayPal that refused to refund my money for something that I've not received, and with a company that are not responsive to emails or phone calls. So I've just lost nearly $2,000. Super stressed out. I'm still going to get it back. So the point was, I decided in that moment that I can allow this to drive me nuts, to make me super angry, to drive me crazy, or I can just calm, look at the situation, and I ended up just emailing the people from the company, and that's going to be my next point of call. That PayPal didn't work. They're not wanting to deal with it. Now let's take these next steps. And then just kind of, I'm going to continue going until I get my money back. And then, but not allowing this story to consume me and cause a bunch of suffering. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I know that for a lot of people, we get so worked up by certain things. If somebody treats us badly or says something wrong or does something to us, then we just play it out for hours and hours and days and days and days in our head. And I was watching something recently or heard something or read it somewhere about animals. Animals get in a fight. I think they were talking about, I don't know. It must have been a Planet Earth or something like that. And David Attenborough was talking about two animals that got in a fight and then they walk off and then they just shake it off. And then that's it. They will kind of walk around for days on end, angry at, the duck that attacked them or whatever. Whereas we hold on to these things. And I kind of decided in that moment today that I wasn't going to have this story about how I was wronged by the guy from PayPal that just sort of sat there and ignored me. I wasn't going to let that manifest. I wasn't going to let that ruin my day. And I made the choice to change my attitude. My attitude is, I'm going to get up. I want to do this call. I've still got stuff to prepare for the weekend, the thing that I'm doing. I've got a lot going on today, and I'm not going to let this experience bring me down and impact the rest of my day, which is going to be really sucky. So I just wanted to share that with you because at any point we all have these choices. And for me, when I kind of go into my depressive funks, it's when I choose to allow things like that to grab hold of me and consume all my thinking. And then it's a downhill spiral from there. So let me hear what some of you beautiful people have to say. Carrie says, I'm so sad. I've been missing all of these. Oh, hi, beautiful. Thank you. I'm doing them on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. So Tuesdays is when I interview somebody, and Thursdays is when I just speak to you. So I will be more, what's the word? I'll be more regular. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm going to be more regular. It sounds like I'm talking about bowel movements. I'm going to be more regular in the nice way with these. The reason I stopped doing them, Carrie, is because Facebook killed the reach of everything, and like the views dropped to nothing. And because of that, I just got really disheartened and stopped doing it. I also took it personally on myself that I'm a failure, that I'm not doing very well. No one cares. Like, I should stop doing this. And the reality of it is, it's not about that. Keep doing it, be consistent. You know, a Facebook algorithm kills everything that you've worked towards. It doesn't mean that I'm doing a bad job. It just means that something's changed. It's frustrating, but it definitely doesn't mean I should stop doing what I'm doing, because what I've been doing is resonating. So that's the reason that I've been all over the place. So thank you for checking in. But I'm going to be more regular. I'm going to be more regular, not with my poo. Okay, my speaker is broken, and it's rare you go live while I'm in the car. Miss you. Go back through and watch the few when I get my phone fixed. Sending you love. Wave at me, please. Carrie! You're a rock star. Okay, listen to this soon. Get that speaker fixed. All that good stuff. Carrie says, I'm definitely in a funk, and I've been for quite some time. I'm dealing with everything pretty damn gracefully, but I remain in the funk. Honey, I get it. Talk to me about, I mean, it's difficult because you're driving or whatever, but I want to hear, what are the thoughts that you've been thinking lately? Because I can guarantee that your funk and feeling in the funk is directly related to the thoughts that you've been thinking. My funk of recent has been feelings of worthlessness, not being good enough, feeling like a failure, feeling like the business and things that I'm doing and everything that I'm working for isn't going very well. You know, worried about finances. These are all things that I've been experiencing and dealing with lately. And it's the thoughts about that has caused me in this funk. And I'm going to get on to how our thoughts shape our reality in a second, because today I want to go through the speech that I'm doing at the Best You conference on Sunday, and the whole premise of it is talking about how our thoughts shape our reality. So I think that will really relate. Robert says, happy, just had a wonderful day. I'm so glad to hear it, Robert. That's beautiful. Tiffany says she's from Plainville, CT, feeling restless. Ooh, that's a funny one. Yeah, I get that sometimes. Yeah, restless. Ben, hi Ben. Tiffany says, in those situations, I try to communicate facts as best as you can, and then glean whatever wisdom or lesson the whole mess was for. Yep, she's talking about my experience with losing $2,000 and not getting anything, and then having PayPal refuse to refund me the money. Yeah, very frustrating. Yes, stay consistent. Consistent was the word that I was looking for, not regular. Thank you, darling. Let it go. It's not personal. That was in response to the stuff. I'm now a little swig of water. Very dehydrated today. Guys, it's raining in LA. It's very unusual, but also pretty interesting. Ben says, Ione, what's happening, girl? Hey, boo. Did you just hear my story about PayPal? You know, that was one of the lessons I learned this morning. Letting go, not allowing things that don't go my way to have such a profound impact on me, and making the choice to, you know, go for it, letting that go and doing the things that I want to be doing from a place of contentment and joy rather than frustration and anger. If I had let this experience impact me, it would have just been this would not be a fun broadcast, I tell you. Joel says, love animals. They teach us so many wise things. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Connection to source is one of them for me. I find animals teach us how to be really connected to stuff. We as humans are incredibly intelligent, but also very disconnected. Tiffany says, good schedule, it works. Yep, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. And for anyone that doesn't know, Uplifting Content, you subscribe to this page, or you like this page, and sometimes you get notified about the lives. With the recent changes on Facebook, you don't really see anything from pages you like anymore. So the only way that you will see stuff is if you go to following on our Facebook page at the top, following, and then see first. I've just put it as a random comment. But also I do Facebook Lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Kevin Benavides, our lovely friend at Uplifting Content, does them on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Okay, so Johnny says, hi, lady. Hi, Johnny. What is one word that describes how you're feeling today? Joshua says, I have been in a bit of a funk lately, someone else in a funk, not sure what sparked my motivation for change. I was kind of spontaneous, but I just really started to focus on myself. I mean, really focusing on myself and just myself. I am super curious about how that went for you, Joshua, and what you mean, because I like it. I think I get what you're saying. For me, it's having to focus on the negative self-talk that I tell myself, because that's what's putting me in the funk and that's what's causing me all the stress. And then switching the things that I'm saying. The thing that's got me out of the funk is realizing what I'm capable of and realizing now what I want to be doing in the direction that I want to be moving in, which we'll go on to in a second. Nikas is perfectly said by you. Your thoughts are what make you change your mood, 100%. Karthik says, hi from India. Hi, Brianna, lovely to see you. Nice to see you too, Karthik. Roberta says, when things don't go our way, usually there's a lesson of patience in there, or some kind of lesson to build our strength towards when life happens to us. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. That was the lesson I got today. So just wanted to check in with you and say that, share that little story. Now I want to go through basically what I'm going to talk about at the Best You conference. So guys, without further ado, let me just run this by you. Would love to get your thoughts. For anyone that doesn't know, I like go round and round and round about all the time. I'm going to share with you, I'm doing a speech, my first one on Sunday. And the topic is be the change you wish to see in the world. And so yeah, basically, here it goes. So, hey everyone, I'm Ione Butler, and I'm an actress, host, and the founder of Uplifting Content, which is the platform you're on now. We're followed by almost 1.5 million people across social media around the world. And what I wanted to do, and this is probably good for some of you who are new to Uplifting Content, so that you know why I started it, what it's doing, how it's helping people, and how I believe Uplifting Content, the idea, the platform, what we're doing, can change your life and change the world, right? So the reason that I started it, there's already been a couple of people that have said how they're feeling today. One person was irritated. A couple of people are in a funk. I think my word was irritated when I put it out there today. And what I just want to stress is that you are not alone. So from my own personal experience, through speaking to my friends, through speaking to you guys on these Facebook Lives, I've noticed that a lot of people in the world, a lot of people around me are feeling frustrated and fed up and down and in a bit of a funk. People are stressed about the political climate we're in. They're worried about the future for their children, for our environment. They're worried about finances. You know, many Americans have no savings and are in a lot of debt and are only a few paychecks away from poverty. Me, myself, I'm, this recent losing nearly $2,000 and worrying that I'm not gonna be able to get it back is causing me a lot of stress. I have people and bills to pay. And so I know that I'm not alone in that. And most disturbingly, something that I learned recently is there are so many people who are feeling low that they want to take their own lives. Now, I've spoken to lots of people on these chats who have depression, because I've been talking about my experience with depression. And I've also spoke to a lot of people who are saying they are feeling like they want to give up. And so I know that, I see that, but there are around 123 suicides per day. I didn't know that in America. That's one every 12 minutes. And for there are 25 failed attempts. So there are so many people who are in need of feeling uplifted, right? And that is why I started Uplifting Content. The tagline, for any of you that don't know, is Uplifting Content, because the world needs more of it. And I really, really, really believe we do. And so let me just see what some of you are saying here. This is fun. I'm going to like do my talk and get your comments and feedback at the same time. So Roberta says, congrats, exciting. Thanks, Roberta. It is. You go, Chica. I got it. Thank you, darling. Joshua says, when you spend time complaining about what you do not have, you wind up wasting what you do have. So stop, take a breath, appreciate what you do have around you, decide where you want to be in life and make a plan. That's exactly what I'm going to get to, Joshua. And then you'll spend all your energy reaching your goals and don't give one second thought to the bad things. I don't necessarily think it's about not giving a second thought to the bad things. It's about, because I think we still need to look at and deal with things that are happening. But it's how we allow it to kind of take over and just destroy us. We don't want that. Johnny says, so true. Ben says, at the end of the day, it's the things that are completely out of our control with multiple variables and are better left to their own track. Imagine how energy comes into things that brings us down and constantly throws punches at. All energy is equal before applied to our own experiences. Don't drain the energy/emotion bank on things that don't positively impact your life. Eventually, you'll be back at zero and you'll have nothing left to give. Stay up. You will get it back. She's talking about the money. Yes, Roberta, I think I will. Now, here's the thing, guys. Shall I carry on going through with the speech or should I stop and read comments? Because I'm not sure if it's distracting doing it like that. So I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you, Johnny. I will keep going. Thank you. Tiffany says, hi, Ione. I hope you're doing amazing. I had a question for you. How do you reflect specific comments from others? For example, being at home visiting when I have parents and family who are not as optimistic as I am. So when I'm even just doing my work or focusing on the journey, I sense the energy of doubt and not doing or being enough. And I truly, I know I am doing a lot, but there's just this unconscious feeling of not being enough, and I feel it may be contagious. How do we protect ourselves from this? Tiffany, that is a fantastic question. So, and I understand where you're at. I went home. I had family visit actually a few years ago actually now. And I love my family, but they have a very different attitude and mindset to me. That's one of the reasons that I moved to America and Los Angeles. There's a lot wrong with America. I'm the first to admit it. But one of the things that I like about LA and, well, LA specifically, is that people are optimistic. People dream. People are out here pursuing their dreams with hopes that I'm going to create what I want in my life. That's what people come here to do. And I really value that. That's not so much the case in England. And I'm guessing that's probably not so much the case for you and your family and where you're from, because you feel that sense too. And so I had family visit a little while back, and they were in my house. We were together. And everything is very much like, oh, that's not going to work. Why would you do that? Oh, don't let him in. What? Like, look at that idiot cutting in. Like, it was just every single comment and conversation was an attack. It was a negative attack about something, some kind of complaining, bitching, whatever. And within about half an hour of being around them, I felt this tightness in my chest. I felt a sickness in my stomach. And it was just this stress that was coming from them. And as much as I loved them, I had to leave. I couldn't spend the night. I couldn't stay with them. I had to leave for my own physical well-being. So I haven't quite mastered the art of completely disconnecting from the energy that you're getting out from other people. But what I think is really important is, first of all, you have the awareness enough to know that's what you're experiencing. First of all, because there's a couple of points here. So when you are in a situation where you are being bombarded with negative energy, I suggest that you take yourself out of that situation, or you put yourself in that situation as little as possible. Don't spend, for me, something that I've always said is my emotional state and my emotional well-being and my physical energetic experience is more important than a relationship with somebody, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is, if you are around somebody that is constantly bringing you down, draining you of energy, causing you stress and anxiety, you need to take care of yourself and take yourself out of that situation. Because if it's really bad, and if you're not good at kind of shutting that down. So for me, that's what I had to do instinctively because it was really tough. Now, when you want to work through this and when you've kind of built up the strength and the resilience to go back to them, the thing that I would say is the attitude of people in England is that, not everybody, 100%, don't want to label everyone, but there's generally, it's more of a, oh, that's not going to work, or, no, but, that's not the sensible thing to do, and, oh yeah, being an actor, are you? Like, it's just people aren't as open like that. And the reason that they're like that is because they're not out there pursuing their dreams, and they just don't think that it's possible or believable. So a lot of the time, what I think is important to do is understand that your family, it's not that they are not wonderful people that love you. This is their beliefs that they are pushing on you, and you have to be aware that their beliefs are not your beliefs, and make that distinction, and be careful that you're not allowing them to take over and control your beliefs. So yeah, what I'm saying is, so there's two things here. There's you thinking about the things that they're thinking. I sense an energy of doubt and not doing or being enough. That very may well be what they think, but you have the choice in how you interact with that, and how you deal with that. If being there causes you, is that difficult to work, I would say maybe, is there somewhere else that you can stay? And then you can go and spend time with them and visit them as and when you need to, rather than be stuck in that atmosphere. I do find it difficult being around some people in my family when I go to fly out to see people and stay somewhere, because I just find it difficult sometimes with some people in my family. The next trip I go, I'm going to be staying somewhere else, and I'll have a car, and I'll go and spend time with them. But then I'll go back to my space and have my space where I feel good energy, can work without feeling judged, and that I'm not good enough. So there's that. You might be right. That is them putting that on you, but you have the choice. It's whether you feel good enough is what's important. I always say that you're only ever offended or you're only ever upset by something if you believe it to be true. If somebody says to me, Ione, you're a fat, ugly bitch, I'm not really going to take that personally because I don't believe it, right? If somebody says to me, Ione, you're a massive failure, no one cares about what you've got to say, uplifting, like, you've got no point, like you're not helping anyone, that might hurt me, because in a subconscious, because that's things that trigger me. I still don't think I'm good enough in that respect, right? In some way. So I might be upset by that. So they're not feeling good enough won't impact you if you feel good enough. So what I would say is use this to work on that. Okay, I kind of went on and on a bit. But yeah, energy is contagious. People, we pass our energy on to each other, and we receive it and we feel it. It's a whole exchange. It's important that you are aware of it, that you take care of it, that if you feel you're in a toxic, negative, energetic space or environment, you take yourself out of it, and then try and deal with the other things that are happening. Anyway, long-winded answer. Sorry, guys. Rambling was supposed to be doing my talk. Now I'm just free-form chatting. My bad. Tiffany says, by the way, your talk and wisdom is so valuable. Thank you. Thank you. Tiffany says, speech first. Okay. I know I'm just so easily distracted by all your comments. Rebecca says, always acknowledge the pain and struggle, because that's where we need to build ourselves. Yeah. Yes. Back and forth is good. Okay, so we've got a mix of opinion here. Hey, Leo, hey. Francis says, true. Aaliyah says, in a taxi, but great to be on. No, I'm glad you made it. Francis says, yes, I hear ya. Yep, I have felt that. Ugh. Johnny says, yes. Roberta says, usually when people attack and judge us, that's an indication that they are feeling sadness or an internal struggle. I 100% agree with you, Roberta. Something that I've always said. You kind people hurt people. Kind, secure, happy people do not attack and judge other people. The reason that you judge is because it makes you feel better. Like putting other people down makes you feel better about yourself. If you are secure in yourself and happy with yourself, you don't need to judge. You can definitely say that, yes, abusing people is not acceptable. You can have opinions on things like that, yes, but judgment is a very specific type of space to use to make us feel better about ourselves. I'm better than you because you behave like this. We don't need to do that. Just stop. So yeah. Francis says, I try to remember and feel the love in my heart. Yes, Francis. And I tried to do that this morning when I had the experience with the guy from PayPal who wasn't going to refund my money, even though I have nothing to show for it, and just sat on the phone or stood on the phone. I don't know what he was doing, just going, we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. Sorry, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing we can do. Like, he did it for about 20 minutes. And I wanted to like wish him dead. And then I realized that's not the best way of being. And so I focused on sending him love because it feels better. And I was reminded that we're all the same, right? Okay, I'm getting a little bit out there, airy-fairy now. So yes, sending in love. And I felt better for that. That felt better than, fuck this guy, he needs to go to hell, I want him to die. Honestly, the love felt better than the hate. Roberta says, remove yourself, set boundaries. Yes. Joshua says, I meant that you don't give energy to the, Joshua says, I mean that you don't give energy to the things you want to walk away from. Yeah, great point, Joshua. If you want to stop drinking soda pop, then don't sit and miss all the wonderful things you used to think about it. That's a great point. If you want to not go out partying, then don't sit and miss being out with your friends. You have to ignore that feel sorry for yourself moment, the transition period. You need to put all your energy into building the new and not be sad about what you are changing. I hope that helps explain what I meant. That does, and that is a fantastic point, Joshua. Thank you. Yes. Francis says, and change the thoughts of energy in the room, change the topic. Difficult at times, but it works at times. Yes, Francis. That was advice to Tiffany, and I agree. What are techniques on changing the mood, changing the topic? Yeah. Johnny says, it takes strength to remove yourself from negativity. Yes, it does. Hi, Simone. Cultivate your own beliefs. Yes. Johnny says, love from a distance. Tiffany says, thank you. You're welcome, gorgeous. Jeremy says, hey, you. Winky face. Hi, Jeremy. Nice to see you. Jeremy says, perfect synchronistic. Got it. Joshua says, so if I had to nail down to one thing, I would say it was action. Action is the element that has always taken me out of my funk whenever they happen. Actually, taking the steps and doing the work. Just wanting to be different is the first step. The second step is taking action. Man, this is all stuff to do with my talk. And I definitely want to go back through my talk, but then I also like to interact with you, and there's all these different comments. So, right, let me go back to the speech and go through some of the points, because you're touching on all those things that I was making. So, yes, talking about, actually, is that going to work? Is this going to work, guys? Maybe I should just, no, because we're already at half an hour. And then I'm jumping in and out, and it's all a bit crazy, isn't it? It's a bit crazy. Okay, so going back to the talk, I want to say, let me know what you think, but then I get distracted by the comments, and then I want to talk to you all again. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to talk. This is me giving the talk. Right, so I just explained that people are going through, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety and worry right now. It's an epidemic. And that's why I started uplifting content, because, well, the main reason is our thoughts shape our beliefs. No, this isn't working. Oh, there's just too many things to talk about. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to you guys, and then I'm going to end it, and then I'm going to work on it. Still, I might just read it to some friends, because this is all a bit weird. Running to my presentation in an hour. Oh, fantastic. Good luck with the presentation. Oh, Leo. Tiffany says, only because I'm at work and can't type much. Oh, I see. Nicole says, first time listener, and you are saying everything, and thank you for letting me believe that there's somebody else in this world that is not hateful, rude, just for the sake of being that way. My pleasure, Nicole, and thank you. For any first time listeners out there, if you like uplifting content, or if you want to see more of uplifting content, go to the page, the top of it, hit following, and then see first. I'm also going to put a link to my mailing list, where each week I will sign up, yeah, each week I'm going to sign up. Each week I'll send you an email. This is when I'm trying to type, find something, and have a conversation at the same time. We are not programmed to multitask as much as we like to think we are. Let me find that link for you. And then what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the conversations that are there, the things that you've written. And then I am going to do the talk. How about that? I'll do that. And then I'll just focus on the talk rather than try and do two things at once. Okay. So thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate you checking in. Joel says, I hate it when they store your money for days when you need it for money and bills, etc. Oh, Joel, it's been a month and they're not giving me my money back. Jeremy says, as I have come to realize, as we ascend in vibrational awareness, we also progress in perfect progress. That's beautiful. As I have come to realize, as we ascend in vibrational awareness, we also progress in perfect progress. It's pretty. I like it. Hi, Jasper. Jasper says, do you have a good tip to motivate yourself working on what you want? I've made a lot of research and I'm a few steps from doing it, but it's quite a big leap, so I am nervous about doing it. Yeah. So what I would say is having an accountability group or a person or people is one way to help motivate yourself. For me personally, I sometimes get sucked into my own thoughts and doubts and not worthy enough type of ways of thinking, and it brings me down. But what's really fantastic about having a either a mastermind, like a group of people who, like friends of yours, or perhaps even people that you don't know, but just getting together a group of maybe 5 or 6 people who all want to work and create something, they're all working on something, and you hold each other accountable and you check in once a month to set goals, set targets, and then check back again a month later to see that you've done them. I think that is really helpful, having other people make you accountable. Another thing for motivation, first of all, is just writing down the things that you want. Get it down, write down the things you want, and then write down the reasons why you want them. There's a great book about the like why, what's it called? The Start with Why or something like that. Figure out why you're doing these things. That can be a really strong, driving, motivating force towards working what you want. But for me, I think the ultimate thing that when it comes down to motivation is mindset and the thoughts that I'm thinking about myself. When I believe that these things that I'm doing that I'm capable of doing the things that I want, I go for it and I take action. I make phone calls, I take steps, I do the work. When I am doubtful, when I'm worried, when I'm feeling insecure, I kind of take my foot off the pedal. So I would say just keep in check with where your head's at. Have your stuff written down, make it manageable. It's the tiny things that you do every day, compounded over time, that really make a difference to help get you where you want to be, instead of, just going all out one day and then just kind of not doing anything ever again. Try and work on that consistency on growing and building and getting to where you want to be, taking one step. So it doesn't need to be a massive, big leap. It's just a continual thing that you do on a daily basis. So accountability group, or like a mastermind group of people that you can work with to kind of learn from, grow from. Also in that realm is like a mentor, somebody that can help you be your support with someone that has experience that you can grow and learn from. Very valuable at keeping motivated. What was the other thing I said? Getting things down. I think I said 3 things. I've just forgotten them. Writing things down so that it's clear. Oh yeah, focusing on why. Why are you doing these things? Find something that really compels you. If you've got a really strong why, that will get you up and doing it. Generally, if it's to make money, when it's a value like that, for some people that is everything, I guess. But I find if there is a more compelling thing of like feeling good or wanting to have a life experience or wanting to help other people, then that's probably more powerful. And then writing things down and taking actions on a regular basis, making it manageable for yourself, and just taking the steps every single day. That would be my advice. Francis says yes. Joshua says, great minds think alike, Ione. Yes, we do, Josh. Keep going. Okay. Just reading all the happenings. Okay. So many comments. Okay, so right now I'm going to carry on doing the speech, and I'm just going to do it through. I would love to hear your comments as we go. So just free to like them, because it just becomes like this whole long-winded thing. So, okay. People are feeling low. People are feeling depressed. A lot of people are on medications for some kind of mental illness. Suicide rates are really shocking and disturbing. And so that was why I created Uplifting Content, because for a lot of my life, I've dealt with depression. It comes and goes. For any of you that have been on any of these calls, you'll have heard of my experiences with depression. And when I have it, when I don't have it, you know, I can speak to you guys like this. I can be excited about getting up on stage this weekend. I can, you know, write a proposal for a book. I can make phone calls. I can go out and enjoy my day and like create things in my life when I am not depressed. When I am depressed, it's like my light has gone out. I don't care about anything. I don't care about life, about what I'm doing. It makes me not want to help other people. It makes me not want, it always want to shut out people and be alone. And it's very, very difficult to shake this funk. And so I know I'm not feeling alone in feeling that way. And I know that there is so many amazing people that have so much potential and so much to give. And when they are feeling that way, it's very, very difficult to do it. And so that's why I created Uplifting Content, because when I was in these funks, or when I am in these funks, I always found it difficult to find stuff that would help shift my perspective. I would just want to watch something that made me feel good, that reminded me of all the great things that people are doing, that reminded me of what was important in life, you know? And so I would struggle to find that. And so that was the basis for Uplifting Content. And now I'm gonna, because here's the problem. What I was finding when I was looking for things, it was a lot of TV shows. A lot of the times they're about conflict or, you know, dysfunctional relationships, or, you know, you flick on the news, which is the worst thing in the world. And what I've come to learn is this type of content and media is having a really, really bad effect on our lives, on our mental state, on our well-being. So for anyone out there, how often do you watch the news? And how does it make you feel when you watch the news? I'll actually read some of these comments because it's related to the talk. For me personally, when I watch the news, I would feel hopeless, like just really sad, depressed, angry, frustrated, just like the world's, what's happened to the world, what's happened to humanity, what's going on. That's how I felt when I watched the news. And so I actually stopped watching it about 7 years ago. I still know when something happens because, you know, within a few hours, if there's a big event, I'll hear about it. And so what I want to say to anybody that feels like they need to watch the news, consider that you don't actually need to. The world won't end if you stop watching it. Also, choose the sources that you're watching your news from. If you feel like you want to be informed and you want to know, that's fine, but make sure that you're going to reputable, non-biased sources that have journalistic integrity, you know, sources that actually are trying to tell you the truth, not a biased story. So choose a reputable source that you trust, and check it once a day, not first thing in the morning so that you set off your day worrying about all the things in the world, and not the last thing at night so that you go to bed, allowing that to sink into your subconscious. If you feel you need to watch the news, listen to the news, find your source, watch it, read it at some point in the middle of the day. And I promise you that will make a huge positive impact in how you feel just by making that one small change. Now, most of the news we see is negative, but that is not a fair representation of what is happening in the world. It's not a true representation of reality. You know, I use this example when there's been a school shooting, for example, and one mentally unstable person goes to a school and shoots a bunch of people. I've heard people say things like, you know, what's wrong with the world? What's wrong with humanity? You know, we're going to hell in a handbasket. All of these things that we talk about life, because one mentally ill person had committed a horrible act, right? But for that one person that did that, there are thousands of people, doctors, nurses, people that give blood, people that have jumped in to support and helped the families and the victims of these acts. There are thousands of other remarkable humans that step up and help. Now, my problem is with the news is we never hear those stories. Why are we never told those stories about all the remarkable people that are doing incredible things in face of what is happening in the world? So we're just hearing this horrible act, everything is awful, and then we're not hearing the full story, which is these are all the things that other people are now trying to do to help and fix this situation. And that's what we need to hear more of. And the reason that television does this is because we have this thing called a negativity bias. And I'm curious to know if anyone has heard of a negativity bias and knows what it is. I'm just hearing some thoughts. Yeah, turn off the TV, Roberta says. Francis doesn't watch as much news anymore. Joshua doesn't watch the news. I've had a cable at my house. I have not had cable for 7 years. Good shout. Yep. Yeah, at the same time. So the reason that the news likes to report this is because we tune in and watch it. Well, not us, because a lot of the people that have commented don't actually tune in and watch it. People are drawn to violent, depressing, and emotionally charged news stories. They bring in ratings. They bring in views. Now, why does that happen? That happens because we have this thing called a negativity bias, which basically stems from our survival instincts. It's part of our evolution. And there's a tendency to focus on things that are dangerous or put us at risk. And that makes sense. You want to pay attention to something that is more dangerous and scary because you want to then avoid it or be informed about it. So I get it. I get why instinctively we can be tuned in and programmed to watch those types of things. Now, that is part of our evolution, but we have a choice to be conscious and mindful of these things. Because what this is doing to us is incredibly damaging. By watching all of these news stories, by kind of consuming violent, negative content, it has a serious detrimental effect on our mental health. And so that's, again, one of the foundations and the reasons why I started Uplifting Content, because I believe that what we're consuming is causing us massive suffering. A psychologist called David Graham Davy says that negative news can significantly change an individual's mood. Obviously, duh, you watch horrible things happening, you feel bad. Especially if there is a tendency in the news, he didn't say that, I added that, obviously, duh, but especially if there is a tendency in the news broadcast to emphasize suffering and the emotional components of the story. In particular, negative news can also affect your own personal worries. Viewing negative news means that you're likely to see your own personal worries as more threatening and severe. Now, this really alarmed me, and again is something that stressed me out, because not only does watching this type of content, this type of news, make you feel bad, it also makes you start to worry about your life and make you feel more threatened and more worried about things that are going on with you. Just by watching news, right? That's what it can do. And the reason that I find that so concerning, and this leads me on to my next point, is that our thoughts become our reality. What we think about, we bring about. So if you're watching stuff that is making you more anxious, more afraid, more worried, is making you worry more about the stuff that's going on in your life, that will affect your reality. Now, I'm not talking about, this is a pretty powerful concept, which took me a little while to get around. For anyone that's read The Secret or heard of The Secret, it's a book about the law of attraction and thoughts. And the misconception is that, like, you think of $1 million and you think really hard about $1 million, and then bam, $1 million is in front of you. And that's not really what I'm saying here. That's not quite how it works. But it doesn't happen instantly like that, is what I mean. But the things that you habitually think about and give energy to are things that you will see happen in your life. So, for example, if you think that you're a failure, you will feel like a failure, which will stop you taking certain actions. Someone who feels like a failure is not going to go and put themselves out there. They're not going to go and take risks at work. They're not going to go and reach out and try and do these things because they feel like a failure. And so by the very thought of feeling like a failure, your actions change because now you're not being very active, and you then are a failure because you're not doing the things that you want to be doing. And that reinforces the belief that you're a failure. And so the cycle continues. And so this is, I mean, it happens all over the place. Another example would be that somebody who believes that they have no friends, or they think that nobody likes them, or they're feeling lonely, right? So they'll feel bad about that. They feel alone. They feel like they've got no friends. They feel that nobody likes them. Now, somebody that feels that way is not going to pick up the phone and call a friend or call somebody they know and ask to hang out. They're not going to go out and be friendly and open to people because they don't feel like they've got any friends, and they feel lonely, and they don't feel like anybody likes them. Now, by those thoughts directly affect your actions or inactions in this case, which means that you're not going to be spending time with anybody, you're not going to have friends, and you're going to feel lonely, right? And so once again, thoughts are directly impacting our actions, which directly impacts our reality and the results in our lives. And so it is so important that you are aware of the things that we think about ourselves. If we don't believe we're good enough, we're not going to feel good enough, and then we won't be good enough, which reinforces the belief that we're not enough. So it's about really taking hold of these beliefs that we have and changing them. And because here's the thing, whatever you think about yourself is going to be the reality that it is, right? So shift that thinking. A really great example of this, about how my own insecurities directly affected my life, was I was supposed to be giving a talk last month at the Best U Expo in London, but I had been dealing with this bout of depression since about October last year, and I felt like I wasn't good enough. I just didn't feel like I was good enough. And I just thought, I'm not going to get up on stage and try and inspire a bunch of people when I don't feel worthy myself. And so I canceled the event, and I did not go and do the talk, which made me feel bad that I didn't go and do the talk. So once again, that was another example of my thought and belief affecting my actions, which affected my reality. The opposite side of that is really realizing. So one thing I want you to do while I'm talking about this is just really reflect on the beliefs that you have about yourself and about the world around you, because they play a huge part. And then maybe we can check in on some of these. Maybe we can check on some of these in a little bit. So yeah, the flip side of this is when you start to have more positive beliefs and encouraging beliefs about yourself and about the world, how everything changes for the better, right? So whatever the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve, which is a Napoleon Hill quote that I really, really love. And it's true, right? So another thing that recently happened to me was, and this is how, just by having a seed planted, it's completely transformed everything, and having this new belief. As many of you may know, we've built this beautiful community on Facebook, Uplifting Content, over 1 million followers on the page. And recently with Facebook algorithms, everything has changed. Hardly any people see the posts anymore. We don't reach as many people. That caused me so much distress and anxiety. And it made me want to just give up on everything. And I was speaking, because I took it personally, like I'm the failure because Facebook algorithms changed, and I'm a failure. That's how I took it all on. A friend of mine, a really wonderful human, Adam Sadiq, who I just absolutely love. I was talking to him about it, and I don't know what to do, and I can't keep doing this. If there's no money coming in, I can't do it any longer. But I've been helping people, and I want to carry on helping people. What do I do? And he said, why are you putting so much time and energy into a Facebook page? It's not about the Facebook page. It's about the people that you're helping. And he said, you've interviewed all these amazing guests who have these huge speaking careers, and they speak to thousands of people, and they've got published books, they're authors. You've got a bigger following than them. Why are you not leveraging that and doing what they do? Why are you not stepping up as a speaker and an author, right? I was like, very good question, Adam. Until he'd said that, what I'd realized in my belief about myself is I'm not good enough to be a speaker. I'm not good enough to be an author. I'm not like those amazing people who are impacting thousands of people, all the time. I'm just not worthy of it. That was the belief that I'd held. And until he said that, I recently have switched my belief to, No, I am somebody that is helping thousands of people. I can be a speaker. I can be an author. And within that short space of time from him talking to me, within a week, I've now signed with a really fantastic literary agent, and I'm in the process of securing a book deal. And I've got everything together to get up on stage and be doing this talk. I spoke to a fantastic guy on Monday who I'm going to be interviewing in a few weeks. He's called Ben Nemtin. Such an awesome guy. I can't wait for that interview. And he started an incredible project and now is as a speaker. And we were talking about it. And I was like, why? Of course I can be a speaker. He gave me a bunch of advice. And now that has set me off on my path. Just goes to show how as soon as you flip that switch, as soon as you shift those beliefs, that is when everything comes into alignment. Okay? So that is really powerful for me. So what thoughts do you have about yourself? Because that's affecting what you're doing in your life. If you think you're not good enough to do something, if you think you're not attractive enough to be loved, if you think you're not wealthy enough to enjoy your life, that's what you're going to bring about. So start changing those beliefs. Another ridiculous belief that I had is guys that I'm attracted to aren't attracted to me. And I'm creating that reality because I have that belief, right? That's not a good belief. Needs to change. What thoughts and beliefs do you have about others? Change those and see how things change in the relationships that you have with other people. So for example, if you think that somebody is rude or selfish, how you speak to that person, you're putting across that they're rude or selfish, which means they're going to react back to you in a way that probably is in reflection to how you're speaking to them. If you go out and you talk to every person like they are just the most wonderful, incredible human beings in the world, you will get very different responses back from those people. Because when you talk to somebody like they're the most amazing human, the chances are they're not going to be rude or obnoxious back to you. They're going to be very nice. They might be a bit confused, but just try that. Also, how are you looking at the world? Because that's creating your reality. If you're saying that the world is awful and that everything is going wrong and it's all going to hell, that is the world that you're going to see and create for your own reality. You have the choice. And I'm not saying that we just ignore the bad things that are happening and the suffering that's going on in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that look at it for the truth of what it is. Yes, there are things that are happening, and there's also tons and tons of amazing people that are trying to do things to stop that. So rather than looking at the horrible things that are happening, look at all the people that are trying to help and get involved with that. Focus your energy on that. How can I help and be part of the solution to these problems that I am deeply disturbed by and upset by? Let that be your focus, not the focus on everything's awful. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So basically, that's why Uplifting Content is here. It's to remind you of the incredible, beautiful, wonderful things that are happening in the world and all the amazing people that are doing great stuff. It's also a community and a support network to help lift you up, because I truly believe that if we can change what we consume, if you can change the content that goes into your mind, that changes the beliefs that you have about yourself, about others, and about the world around you. By changing those beliefs about yourself and the world around you, you change the actions, you change what you do in your day-to-day lives. And by taking those different actions, you change your reality, and you change the world you live in. So that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing. And I really hope that makes sense. And so one of the things I really, that I did last week with some of you guys, and I would love to do it again too, is just knowing how much of an impact that you can make by doing a small thing. It's all about taking action, basically. And so I've got this thing where you message somebody that you think is doing a really great job to let them know how you feel. And I actually did it last night to my stepmom. And it just makes such a massive, massive difference in people's lives. So I'm going to read you what she said. Boo, 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 boo. Well, I said to her, first of all, hi, lovely. I just want to check in and see how you're doing. I also wanted to say I think you're doing an amazing job as a mum, wife, breadwinner, and homemaker all in one. I know it must be stressful, but you're incredible. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Have you used your massage yet? Now, the reason I do this is there have been a few times recently where people have just sent me a little message to say, I think you're doing a great job. And it has made such a massive impact on my life. It's really helped me to keep going. And so I encourage people to do this, and I do this because it shows you how powerful you are and how much you can make a difference in somebody's life by taking 30 seconds of your day to send them a message. Her response was, oh, you made my day. Tired and stressed, headed to bed after a long day. But yeah, hugs and love. And so it really helps. It really, really, really helps. Now, the other thing that is that I wanted to kind of focus on too is how you of what it is of taking action, right? So once you're filling your headspace with content that inspires you and makes you feel good and shows you the true reality of what's going on in the world and what people are doing and what's happening. Once you're in that, right? Once you've changed your belief that you are capable of absolutely anything you put your mind to, that I can have anything that I want in life. I can do anything that I want in life. Once you've shifted that perspective, right? Because we've changed what we're consuming, the next step is to take action. That is the most important thing that is going to start getting you towards your goals. And so what I really want for you to do is start writing a list. And I want to see 5 things from people in this chat. This is kind of wrapping up the speech now, guys. So thank you for all of you that have been like hanging in there and listening to this. I'm super, super pumped. 5 things that you want to do in life. I want to hear exactly 5 things that you want to do. So one of mine is to go to space. Actually, I wrote this list. I wrote 100 things. And when we speak to Ben Nemtin in a couple of weeks, he has this project called The Buried Life. And you are going to be so inspired by how writing down this list can really make an impact in your life. So yeah, I want to hear 5 things. 5 things from my list that I'm just going to write down and add to the thing is go to space. Do a Vipassana retreat. I can't even spell it to save my life. It's like a silent meditation retreat. If anybody that doesn't know, can't even spell it, but I don't even care. Silent meditation. The other thing that I wanted to do on my list was, holiday on a yacht. That's what I want to do, because I would be in the Bahamas and see all these like big mega yachts. And I was like, I want a holiday on one of those one day. The other one is, let me see what my list is. Oh, adopt children. That's going to happen. Get married. Want to do that. I mean, to be fair, I can just do that any day with a friend, just like go to Vegas and do it. Okay, so Ione's 5. And I want to see what yours are. Ione's 5. I mean, there's going to be, the idea is that you write out 100 of these things. And when we speak to Ben, we'll go into why that's even more powerful. So let me see if any of you have written down some of the things. Oh, my cousin leaving comments. Okay, no one's written down. That's fine. But by writing this list down, I just want to say how instantly, once you've got it written down on paper, how instantly you make that change. Go to a Vipassana retreat. I started Googling and researching Vipassana retreats. Next week, after I've dealt with this conference, I'll be booking that. Holiday on a yacht. I'd recently been in contact with a guy that has an amazing travel company and wants to start making more inspirational videos. And so I've asked him if we can like work together and collaborate for a yacht week thing that he has coming up in the year. And we're having a conversation on Tuesday. I've already started, my thoughts have already started to take action, which are shaping my reality. Go to space. I mean, I haven't really started doing anything about that yet. I'm just waiting for it to be really readily available, but it's definitely going to happen. Adopt children. I'm always looking into that. Securing myself financially so that I'm in a position to adopt children and get married. Open to proposals. So I'm open to it. But anyway, those are some of the things on my list. And I just want to can't really reiterate enough how important it is to do that. So for the speech, guys, thank you for listening. You've been really fun. At this point, what I was going to be doing, is having everybody go through these things, and then we're going to talk about them, get some feedback, and then I want everybody to take one action that gets them towards one of these things on their list, just to show you that by changing your belief, change your thoughts, you change your actions, changes your reality. And we can do all of that in one 45-minute session, just by reminding you of those things. So thank you for listening, guys. You are rock stars. I'm going to go back through some of these comments now. This has been a really fun chat. Would love to hear your thoughts on what I've just been saying. Yeah, there's some really great comments in here, so you guys are rock stars. Okay. Roberta likes the focus. Thank you. I think it does help when I just stick to one point and talk and then go back to comments. So thank you for your feedback, Roberta. Are you on my, Roberta, I need to add you to, I've got a little group, and I want to add you to it. Francis says, I find that interesting. Back in the day, people didn't know firsthand on TV about what was going on 100 miles away and lived their day and their life out. Now we seem to focus our lives on TV instead of our own lives. That's a fantastic point, Francis, sorry. Everyone is focused on the TV. They're not going out and living their lives and having their own experiences. Yeah, you're right. Tanya says, yes. Joshua says, I have heard of negativity bias. Yeah, it's a thing that we have, and we can change it. We just need to be conscious of it. Katie says, so on point. Thank you. Francis says, so true. Francis says, then there was you. Lol, I like it. That's why I'm watching this now. Thank you. Hi, Omikar. Joshua says, yes, we create our own reality. Bad thoughts will create the bad behavior to make those negative thoughts a reality. Totally. Omikar says, what happened about the social media detox? Have you finished The Artist's Way? I have a problem to share with you. My friend is acting weird for a girl, even though she is not interested in him. How do I convince him to let go? I feel like we've spoken about this before, Omikar. Let me know. Regarding the social media detox, it's very difficult. What I realized was I wanted to cut myself off every type of social media. But then what I've realized is, for my own... what I think I'm going to do is have other people manage it and me not check it so frequently. What I want to focus on is my actual interactions with people like these, being on Facebook Lives, talking to people, and getting up at events and talking to people. I want to put my time and energy and effort into making actual connections rather than social media connections, people watching me disconnected from afar. So I'm not going to do it now just because I'm trying to launch another side of the business. And I've realized that I'm still impacting people even when I don't realize. Even though Facebook killed our reach, even though Instagram posts don't get seen anymore, my stuff is still resonating with people through me sharing it. And by cutting all of that out, it means I'm not sharing my message. So I'm going to continue it. But be using it much less and using things like these to be the time where I interact with people. So Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. on this page, that's where I'm here to chat to you guys. And hopefully I'll be at more events doing in-person speaking. Have I finished The Artist's Way? No, I haven't. For anyone that doesn't know, it's a book about finding your creativity. So thank you for checking in, Omikar. It's very sweet of you. My friend is acting weird for a girl, even though she's not interested in him. This is really hard, Omikar, because it's his choice to let go of this thing and not yours. You can't convince him to let go of her. All you can do is remind him that he deserves to be in a relationship with somebody that wants to be in a relationship with him. That pining for somebody that doesn't want to be with him is going to cause him stress. It's going to cause him hurt. It's going to cause him upset. And it's also going to stop him from being open and meeting other people who are more suitable and do want him. So I think that it's not about convincing him, just about being that gentle reminder to him that his thinking about this and his fixating on this girl, is causing him to suffer. And that if he doesn't want to suffer, he needs to let go of the idea of her. The thing that he's upset about is he thinks that he's upset about the loss. He's upset about not having this idea of a relationship. She doesn't want to be with him. She's not interested. So it's not about her. It's not about the relationship, because the reality of the situation is she doesn't want to be with him. He's upset about the idea of what it could be if she did want him. He's making this story, he's fantasizing about it, and he's attached to the idea of that story, and that's what he's not letting go of. So what you need to remind him is that story that you're telling about this girl is causing you to suffer. You deserve to be with somebody who wants to be with you. Let that be what you focus on. You see how that helps. Roberta says, our thinking is a process of the world we have created. So to change the world, we must change our thinking. Yes, Roberta, the whole point of my thing. I think I quoted that right. I mean, it sounds familiar. Joshua says, don't give up. You're not a failure. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. Roberta says, you need to interview Jay Shetty. Oh, I love Jay Shetty. We interviewed him for the Uplifting Content Summit. There's and it's free, actually. If you go to Uplifting Content Summit, I didn't interview him personally. Adam Roa did, but I love Jay, and he's a gem. Summit. Yeah. You can find it there. But yeah, he's a wonderful human. Joshua says, I believe in you, and you should too. Thank you, Josh. Thanks, Francis. Joshua says, Omar, has your friend actually asked this girl out? Because healthy rejection can do wonders to cure wonder loss. That is a really fantastic point, Joshua. Yeah, has he asked her out? That's a really, really great point. Tiffany says, each one, teach one. Not sure what that was. Roberta says, you change your intentions, you change your reality. Yes. Gurpreet says, hello there. I've just a question regarding the fact, as you said, if we talk with positivity, considering the person is most good, then we may get a positive response. But nowadays, after trying this many times on many people, I found that these people make gap from you, thinking that they may get from you thinking that we're lying. Okay, yeah, so I mean, it definitely needs to be said from an authentic place. It definitely needs to be said from an authentic place. How are you, if it feels forced, if it feels over the top, then maybe that's what they are coming in at. Just to clarify what we're talking about, guys, I said about it's changing how you see yourself, changing the beliefs and the thoughts that you have about yourself and other people and the world around you. For example, if you think that everybody is an asshole, you're going to go out treating people like assholes, and they're going to respond to you as an asshole, right? So everyone's pissed off. If you go out into the world greeting people that you think they're just an amazing, wonderful human, and you greet them with love and compassion and, just real, genuine interest, you're going to get a very different response to the people that you're talking to. Gurpreet says that by doing that, people think that he's lying. So what I'm saying is just look at how you're approaching people. It's very difficult for English people to come to America and they're like, hey guys, how are you? Have a great day. Oh my God, hi. To me, that's just really forced, and it's just a bit fake. And I'm not saying you're doing that, Gurpreet, but that can sometimes cause people to be a little bit, not so connected. So I would just say, continue greeting people with a smile, being kind, being genuine, being honest, and just keep working on that, because I genuinely believe that when you are smiley and honest and loving, most people will respond back to you in that way. Omar says, yeah, Joshua, he asked her out and got rejected, yet he wants her. Yep, then have a listen to my thoughts. Francis says, you have just helped change my day. Although I've learned this before, I needed to hear this talk from you today to change my mood and day around. So thank you for showing up. Thank you, Francis. You have made my day. That's exactly why I'm doing it. And so that makes a difference. Leo says, I want to see the Northern Lights. Awesome. What is one thing that you can do to help get you there? Have you looked into flights, Leo? Have you looked into programs? I know that you're thinking about moving at some point. Is there some type of program that you can go and intern with or volunteer for or be funded for that means that you can go out and see the Northern Lights? Let me know. I want to know. Joshua says, we're talking about, Tiffany says, dance on stage, become a comedian, Vipassana retreat, host an event, be on Joe Rogan podcast. Ooh, those are all exciting things, Tiffany. Dance on stage is pretty easy, right? You can just dance on any stage you want to. You can go to a party in a club this weekend and dance on a stage. So I think that's cool. Become a comedian. What is one thing that you can do? Have you taken an improv class? Is there a comedy class on Groupon that you can just get up and go and be a comedian and just do it for the fun of it? One of my things was to learn salsa and tango. So I've been looking on ClassPass for local salsa and tango classes. I haven't signed up to one yet because I need my thing to renew. Anyway, so it's basically just taking those steps and actions. Host an event. What kind of event? Tiffany, I'm connecting some of the, I might be able to talk to you about doing that. Where are you based? Maybe there's a way that you can start helping with uplifting content events, because I want to start bringing the community together in person, not just on a Facebook page. So let's discuss that, because I'm super, super interested to help you do that. And Leo says, write a book or movie script. You've done that, oh Leo. You've written a book or movie script, no? Are you writing every day? I think you told me you're writing every day. Tiffany says, go to Ireland with my daughter, learn 2 languages, adopt a dog, foster a child, high impact for women as a transformational life coach. Yeah, girl, that's amazing. Okay, regarding the island thing, the first step is for anything, look at flights. Go right now and start looking at flights, because a lot of the time, we don't even know how to do these things, right? We're not even sure how much it is. We're like, oh, this is so expensive, or this, blah, blah, blah. We don't do the steps necessary to find those things. Adopt a dog. What's holding you back from doing that right now? Foster a child. Let me know about that. I think obviously for me, my personal adopting kids need to be a bit more stable. High impact for women as a transformational life coach. And I think you're doing that. So that's all fantastic. Robert says, go and see Jay Shetty, Jason Silver, and you speak live. Oh, Roberta, you're a beautiful gem. Complete my 4-year vision quest, become a well-known artist, book more performing dance events. That is exciting. Oh, what's a 4-year vision quest? Ooh, share this in the group. Share your work and stuff like that in the group. Roberta, I want to start seeing some of these things that you're doing. Go and see Jason Silver and you speak like, oh, that's awesome. Right, we'll make that happen. Roberta, I'm going to hook you up. Where are you based? Leo says, live by the ocean. Oh, that's a good one. Get my business flowing and on a bigger scale. I want you to write all of these things down, guys. And actually, do you know what? I think this is going to be the foundation of the Uplifting Community Group. And I want to make it about doing this, basically. Everybody actively, I'm going to share my list of 100. I've only got it up to like 35, but I'm going to have 100 things on my list. And then I'm going to keep you updated every time I cross something off my list, so that you know. And then I want us to be able to work together, changing each other's beliefs, changing each other's thoughts and actions and reality. And I think that's going to be a great thing that we can do in the Uplifting Community Group. So if you haven't joined it yet, after I've done my talk, I'm going to make that the thing that we focus on. Married, children, have a place by the beach, retire early, help others. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. What are you working on now, Francis? And yeah, what's happening with those? I'm excited. Get my sailing certificate, visit Machu Picchu, scuba dive. Ooh, good ones. Scuba dive is definitely something that I want to learn how to do as well. Have you looked into all of these things, Joshua? Where is there a sailing thing nearby you? Have you looked into trips to Machu Picchu in Peru? Where can you go scuba diving? If we say these things, right? And then we don't often just do the work to get us towards them. It just becomes an idea. That's fantastic. The idea is the first thing. The next thing is research that. Book it. Do it. Done. Thoughts change? Yeah, brilliant. Omikar says, start a YouTube channel / Facebook page, have a TED talk, scuba dive and skydive, be meditative. Oh, fantastic. The meditative one you can already do right now. We've got stuff on the Uplifting Content page. There's the Meaning of Life experiment. There's also, what's the other one that we've got? We had the giveaway for, what's it called? I think you can still sign up for it. Gosh damn it. Sync Tuition, which is a really great meditation thing. We've got stuff for meditation. I'm also going to start doing some meditations for you guys too. And then scuba diving and skydiving. Yes, have a TED talk. What are you going to talk about? Think about it. Write about it. You know, you can do a TED talk. You don't have to be a famous person to do a TED talk. Anybody can do a TED talk, so you can do that. Go to Dan Ling. I don't know what that is. Start a YouTube channel or Facebook page. All right, do those things and share it in the group. We'll do all of this stuff in the group. Joshua says that's only 3 though. That's okay. You can add more. Add me. I will. Tom says, I have to go now, but your talk sounds perfect. Even on here, you're totally showing your something way. I see it. Even if you help one person, that's a massive achievement. Thank you, Tom. You're awesome. Passion. That makes sense. Thank you, Tom. That's a great feedback. Thanks for the suggestions. Ooh, awesome. Roberta says, Jay actually introduced me to you. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm glad. Roberta on social media, obviously. Katie says, really happy when I see content like yours. You seem super genuine to watch, which feels rare to find these days. We need to remind each other how we influence each other, and it's up to us what kind of vibe we create, whether it's real life or online. Need more positivity. And that's exactly the point that I want to make. That's definitely what I'm preaching, is we are all having an impact on each other too. So you can make somebody's day just by reaching out and telling them you think they're doing a good job. You can inspire people just by getting out and following your passions and following your dreams. I don't realize that people follow my stuff and it makes them get out and do stuff, their stuff. And I'm not aware of that. And so just, know that every time that you are following your path, following your calling, helping others, making a difference, it's just a compounded effect. So thank you for that beautiful point. Ben says, anyone looking for a place on the beach, come see me, your friendly neighborhood beachside realtor. Okay, guys, message Ben and see if he's got something good for you. Maybe you can go in on something together. Roberta says she's based in Michigan. That's fine. I'll be around. Roberta says, you are seriously making me feel with excitement. Love you, girl. My pleasure. Like, let's get you chatting. Tiffany says, started checking prices for trip. Nothing on language yet. My youngest daughter is 10, dog allergy, foster child. We have 4 kids at home, need space for the nest. Already started my coaching business. Girl, you are on it. You are on it. Keep taking those steps. Keep writing all of those things down and just work on whatever you want to be working on. Meditate every day, says Roberta. Good vibe tribe. Yes, good vibe tribe. Awesome. Thomas says you're definitely an inspiration. Thank you, Thomas. Guys, this was beautiful. I'm so glad I got back on with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. It's lovely to see you all. I'm going to share this over into the group. Next week, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I'm going to share this into the group. I would love for you to have your lists, to start writing your lists of the things that are on your life to-do list, the things that you want to make happen. And then I want us to be this gigantic group that is each other's accountability buddies in what is on your list and what are the things that you're making happening. If people have questions, then you help support. If yours is like, I want to help support somebody, then you can support someone on the group. Or if it's, whatever it is, let's put that in the group and make that our thing. I'm sharing this video over right now. I'm also going to share my lists. After next week, I'm going to get a bit more focused on everything. So just be patient with me, but I'll be back on Tuesdays and Thursdays to do the Facebook Lives. So make sure that you subscribe to see first on the page. And then also, we used to be able to get reminded, and they've stopped doing the reminder now, which is a bit of a shame. You would be reminded when we go live, but that's changed. Anyway, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. You are wonderful. That was really fun. And I will speak to you soon. And I look forward to hearing more about what is on your life lists. All right, guys. Bye.